Lions, guys, we're back here at TPS for another video. For NFL GMs, few things feel as good as finding a franchise-changing star in one of the latter rounds of the draft. It's not hard to find talent in the first or second round, but after that, you're simply rolling the dice and hoping for the best. Well, some of the top young stars in the NFL today were drafted in those later rounds, and they've exceeded expectations thus far. They made other teams look silly for passing up on them, all while emerging as the franchise stars for their respective clubs. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we present 10 NFL and 10. Where did that accent come from? I'm Justin Fraction, and today we present 10 recent NFL draft picks that look like steals. Look like steals. Look like sling blade. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 10, MAURICE HURST Jr. Michigan defensive tackle MAURICE HURST Jr. should have been a first-round pick hands down, but a heart condition forced him to sit out the 2018 NFL Combine, and it made other teams nervous. Despite his talents, clubs just weren't willing to invest a high-end pick on the 292-pound tackle. Well, the loss of 31 other teams was the Oakland Raiders' gain. They drafted Hurst with the 140th pick in the 2018 draft, and boy has he already made other teams regret not taking him. In what was quite a dismal season for the Raiders, Hurst was one of the few positives under $100 million head coach Jon Gruden. Hurst finished the season with 4 sacks and 3 passes defended, earning him a solid 72.4 grade from Pro Football Focus. That was only his rookie season, too. The Raiders are going to add another elite pass rusher in the first round of this year's draft. Whoever that is, and Hurst will be terrorizing opposing quarterbacks for years to come. Good on the Raiders for taking a gamble. Hurst will be absolutely worth it. Number 9, TARIK COHEN. The Chicago Bears are a prime example of how one GM can erase years of embarrassment. In this case, we're talking about Ryan Pace, who has nailed a large portion of his draft selection since taking over. But his best late-round find is undoubtedly 5'6" running back TARIK COHEN, whom they drafted with the 119th pick in 2017. Cohen won plenty of awards during his college days at North Carolina A&T, but for some reason teams just weren't high on him. 9 running backs were drafted in 2017 before the Bears finally took a chance on him. Cohen became a huge weapon for quarterback Mitch Trubisky in 2018, finishing with 444 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. But as an RB, Cohen did most of his damage in the passing game. He had 71 catches for 725 yards and 5 touchdowns, helping the Bears win the NFC North and thus making the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. Guys like Trubisky and Cohen are young and either entering their primes, so yeah, the Bears are really just getting started. Cohen is going to be a huge weapon for years to come, and teams are going to continue to regret passing on him. Number 8, Grady Jarrett. They don't have the playoff success or Super Bowl championship to show for it, but the Atlanta Falcons have been one of the top drafting teams in the NFL over the past 5 years. Credit to GM Thomas Dimitroff, who's always finding these late-round gems, especially on the defensive side of the ball. One of his top finds was Clemson defensive tackle Grady Jarrett, whom the Falcons drafted 137th overall in 2015. The 305-pound Jarrett has gotten better and better every year, and he's been a mainstay on that Atlanta defense. His performance in Super Bowl 51 against the New England Patriots was absolutely incredible. He sacked Tom Brady 3 times, and Jarrett would have likely been MVP if the Falcons didn't blow it. Jarrett had a career year in 2018 with 6 sacks, 52 combined tackles, and 3 forced fumbles. The man set himself up nicely for a huge payday in 2018 free agency, to say the least. What a special find he was for Atlanta. Number 7, KWON Alexander. While the Tampa Bay Buccaneers continue to be mired in mediocrity, linebacker KWON Alexander has been quietly one of the game's better young defensive players. The Bucs nabbed him with the 124th pick in the 2015 draft, and they haven't looked back. Alexander recorded over 90 combined tackles in each of his first 3 seasons. He had 9 sacks in his rookie year and registered 7 in his sophomore season. Alexander missed 4 games in 2017, and he was limited to just 6 contests in 2018. Without Alexander, the Buccaneer defense continually regressed and sunk to the bottom of the league. Well, things promise to get better under new head coach Bruce Arians, who will maximize Alexander's production for years to come. With a healthy Alexander in 2019, Tampa Bay's defense should reach new heights. We've seen just how much the man can take a game over while on the field. He's going to cement himself as one of the game's elite linebackers in 2019. Bank on it. Number 6, Deshaun Hand. The Detroit Lions were one big-time disappointment in 2018. But there is a lot to like about this defense that head coach Matt Patricia is overseeing. It all starts with defensive tackle SHAWN, who the Lions took with the 114th pick in 2018. A knee injury hampered Hand's final season at Alabama, which hurt his stock a little bit. That worked out fine for the Lions because the 6'4" defensive tackle is going to be a huge difference maker in the Motor City. Hand finished his rookie season with 3 sacks and had 2 forced fumbles. Those stats might not be eye-popping, but do consider that he earned an excellent 87.3 grade from Pro Football Focus. We don't really know what the future holds for Matthew Stafford, and if he'll ever lead the Lions to the promised land. But the likes of Hand and Darius Slay ensure that this Detroit defense will soon emerge as an elite unit. Keep your heads up, long-suffering Detroit fans. DeShawn will be lending you a hand. Number 5. Danielle Hunter. When folks think of the Minnesota Vikings and that defensive machine, they tend to think of Everson Griffin, Xavier Rhodes, Harrison Smith et al. But in 2018, Hunter showed that he just might be the best player on the Vikings, period. Hunter was drafted by the Vikings with the 88th pick in 2015, and the LSU product registered 6 sacks in his rookie season, guiding Minnesota to an NFC North Division title. He broke out in 2016 with 12.5 sacks and 56 tackles, once again asserting himself as one of the game's top young pass rushers. Hunter received a 5-year, $72 million contract extension in the 2018 offseason. He followed it up with a career season, finishing with 14.5 sacks and 72 tackles. Hunter was one of the few bright spots on an otherwise disappointing Minnesota team that missed the postseason. Hunter also earned his first Pro Bowl selection. Now, we'll see if Hunter can take it to another level in 2019 and beyond. As far as we're concerned, this man is just getting started. Number 4. YANNICK NGAKOUE. The Jaguars have prioritized building up a physical in-your-face defense over the past 5 years, and it's come together over the last 2 seasons. While the likes of Calais Campbell and Jalen Ramsey earn most of the attention, one can't ignore what NGAKOUE has done up to this point. NGAKOUE was drafted in the 3rd round, 69th overall, by the Jaguars in 2016. He didn't need long to make an impact on that stout defensive line, finishing his rookie year with 8 sacks. A year later, NGAKOUE broke out with 12 sacks and followed it up with 9.5 in 2018. NGAKOUE has quietly emerged as one of the top pass rushers in the NFL. He's just not getting the credit for it. Such is life when you're playing on a small market team and on a defense that features a handful of Pro Bowl talents. Jacksonville was terrible in 2018, but expect them to re-emerge as a contender in 2019. As long as guys like NGAKOUE keep on getting better, the Jaguars should become a force in the AFC South again. Number 3. George Kittle. Imagine how San Francisco 49ers fans would have reacted if you had told them that they just had drafted the next Rob Gronkowski. The stock was very low on Iowa tight end George Kittle, whom the 49ers took in the 5th round, 146th overall in the 2017 draft. Nobody could have expected that Kittle would emerge as perhaps the best tight end in the NFL. Not over the likes of Gronk, Travis Kelce, or Zach Ertz, but after Kittle's sophomore year, you can certainly make the case for him. Even though he only had starting quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo for 2.5 games, Kittle finished with 88 receptions for 1,377 yards and 5 touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he set the record for the most receiving yards in a single season by a tight end. That's right, more than Gronk ever had. More than Tony Gonzalez ever had. More than Jason Witten ever had. And to think that the Kittle-Garoppolo duo is just getting started. The future is looking more than bright in San Francisco with hopefully a healthy Jimmy G and the game's new top tight end. Them 49ers have always succeeded in finding late-round gems. Number 2. Dak Prescott. The Cowboys drafted the Mississippi State product in the 4th round, 135th overall in 2016. Prescott was supposed to be the eventual successor to Tony Romo, but when the former suffered a compression fracture in preseason play, Dallas had no choice but to hand the duties over to their rookie signal caller right away. Prescott answered the bell and formed a dynamic offense alongside rookie and star running back Ezekiel Elliott. Together, the duo led Dallas to the top record in the NFC at 13-3, though they lose to the Green Bay Packers in the divisional round. Prescott was named Offensive Rookie of the Year after throwing for 3,667 passing yards and 23 touchdowns against just 24 interceptions. He suffered from the infamous sophomore slump, but rebounded in 2018. Prescott threw a career-best 3,885 passing yards and had 22 touchdowns, leading Dallas to their 2nd NFC East Division title in 3 years. So yeah, the Cowboys have themselves a new franchise quarterback. Prescott and the Cowboys are primed for some big moments in the long run. It's amazing how a superstar like him fell so late in the draft. At number 1, Alvin Kamara. Following several years of mediocrity, the New Orleans Saints finally returned to relevance in 2017. That's because they nailed the bulk of their draft picks that year. But none were bigger jackpots than running back ALVIN KAMARA, whom the Saints took at the 67th spot. KAMARA was greatly overlooked despite shining at Tennessee. Well, the Saints found a hidden gem, and KAMARA has already emerged as one of the best offensive playmakers in the NFL. KAMARA won the 2017 Offensive Rookie of the Year award after compiling 728 rushing yards, 81 receptions for 826 receiving yards, and 13 total touchdowns. KAMARA was named to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. He helped the Saints reach the 2018 NFC Championship game, where they came one non-horrible missed call away from reaching the Super Bowl. But hey, KAMARA, Michael Thomas, and Marshawn Lattimore give the Saints a promising future, even in the post-Drew Brees era. The future is looking up in New Orleans, and it starts with KAMARA. Which other recent draft picks look like steals? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.